What's up? Episode 10 coming back at you. We have revamped it to the Bean Nation. I'm your host, Brennan Butterbean Queen. And like I promised, we are back in a different setting. Excited to bring more content and now some special guests to the show. So it's going to be an exciting new era for the Bean Nation podcast. I'm excited about this one because this was like pulling teeth trying to get you on here. And this is my buddy, my brother, Jack Dawson, a.k.a. Stevo. And basically, you were the first guest because we revamped the show from the Bean Pod to Bean Nation and got it in a more professional setting. I actually have my own logo now, as you can see, and you were joking on my nice cards here. So, you get to stare at my mullet up there.
And don't look quite like you, but
nah, he looks better. So, but for everybody that's going to be tuning in, Stevo and I met this year, and we were able to accomplish some great things together. And we felt like with the banquet for the ARCA Championship being next week, it was only fitting to have the first guest as you, the crew chief of the 28 bestrepair.net Chevrolet. And if it makes you feel any special, you're my first guest ever because we did it in our spare bedroom, and it was just Nicole and I, so we never had a guest.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I will say Stevo always tells me he can't do this, but I have faith in him, so he'll be fine on here. So... all right, well, we're going to get right into it. Basically, tell the viewers, how do we know each other, which we kind of just did, but I guess let's back that up. Did you told me you didn't know who I was particularly?
Not really. I had seen the name come across, some of the late model races and whatnot, but obviously I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to any other racing. I stick to my job and that's it.
That's what we like about you.
Yeah.
You're locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I didn't really know much either besides like watching the 28 ARCA car and watching what y'all were doing, but I personally didn't know your name, obviously just because you weren't listed as the crew chief when Zilich was driving and all that. Right. But I'd seen you on the videos and stuff, and then I know when I went and signed with Pinnacle, and they told me that you were going to be the crew chief, that BMAC and everybody knew you and told me, "Oh, you're going to be fine." So that was kind of, I would say, my first impression of getting to know you. But I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I felt like we hit it off quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we're both racers, and I remember the weekly Kickback Jacks, like before Daytona, just talking about the year, and which we're gonna get into all that, but I don't really know if we could have planned it out any better. I mean, we accomplished kind of what we wanted to.
Absolutely. I think we missed it by one, but
yeah. I mean,
on a technical standpoint.
Yeah, no, and on top of that, like, I mean, and we're gonna get into this, but I mean, I think. Not that we weren't tight. Obviously, racing together makes you tighter, and then obviously winning helps. But I just felt like when we won Daytona, like that kind of just set the mood that we were going to be good.
Well, that's the biggest one of the year, right?
Yeah, and you always have that.
Yeah,
you got your ring, so forever. So I wanted to give the guest of, not only Bean Nation, because all my fans are going to tune in, but there might be people that see this now that we're going to be a little more professional and that might not even be my fan that just happen to run across it. So I know you don't like talking about yourself, but we're going to have to.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about your racing background.
So I moved to North Carolina in 2006, fresh out of high school.
Really?
Yeah. I started working at the Joy of Seating. Building seats for LaJoys, and I was working for Corey in the evenings on his late models and Pro Challenge car when that series was still around.
On a what?
Pro Challenge. It was kind of like a Allison Legacy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, and then he started with the K&N series and then started doing some ARCA stuff, and they hired me full-time for the ARCA car.
Yeah.
And then...
or ARCA, or was that K&N? That was
It was K. Well,
he did both.
he did both.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did the K&N series, and then towards the end of that time frame, he started running. I think we ran 5 or 6 ARCA races.
Really?
Yeah.
So you weren't crew chiefing it though. You were just doing the wrench hours.
Yeah, car chiefing basically. It was just Corey and I. We built them, from the ground up every week, and we'd stay there all night working.
Yeah, you still do that. So
sometimes when I have to now.
I think so. It's funny you say that. I remember like watching Corey in that white and black 07. Was that when you were there?
Yep.
So I remember he come to Langley and won. Mm-hmm. You were there on that.
Yeah.
So you won at Langley.
Yep.
I remember y'all were like a championship threat. Like y'all were.
We had the points lead going into Greenville, and they threw us out for what they called was an illegal carburetor, but it was stock from Holly that way. It had an extra hole drilled in I think it was in the metering block or something.
You drilled it?
Yeah, I drilled it.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
So it's funny you bring that up because I do remember y'all getting tossed and costing y'all the championship. I was what year was that? 2012, 2011?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Because I think I was racing legend cars, and I remember I was at Langley when y'all won. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, I didn't know you, but I was in the stands, or I might have been in the pits. But I remember, thinking, I always viewed the Corey at that time as a lower end team versus. It was like Chase Elliott and Pastrana and all. I don't know who was in it. Dusty Larson, maybe.
Correct,
I remember, and y'all were like toe to toe, and I always dreamed of. At that time, I wanted to run K&N, and I just thought it was pretty incredible to me to see like the little guy contending. Because in my opinion, that's kind of how my whole career was.
Yeah, yep. There's a picture floating around with LaJoy's trailer parked in the middle of all the
big rigs,
all the feather light trailers.
My gosh.
And it's 15 feather lights, and then us, and then 15 more. And we're right in the middle of it.
He had just a gooseneck?
Gooseneck, yep.
And y'all did that out of where he still is? Or at
the seat shop.
At a seat shop. So I guess I went over there for his podcast, so that's somewhere right in that area.
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty cool. I would have, I think that says a lot about your work ethic already leading up to what we're going to get into. But I think just the fact that I'm sure you learned a lot.
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of really good crew chiefs, and taking everything that they've taught me along the way.
Yeah, did you, when you left high school and decided to move down there, did you know anything?
I had no intention of working racing.
Really?
None. Yep. I knew nothing about it.
What did you want to do?
Well, I went to school to be just an automotive technician.
Street cars.
Yep.
So you were thinking you were gonna head and just work at a auto shop.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. I had no intention of working racing.
And then you found out working on a race car is better than working on a street car.
Yeah, they were much cleaner.
Yeah. I despise working on a street car.
Yeah, I don't work on mine either.
I don't even want to change the oil on mine anymore. No. I used to and just got away from it. You work on a race car, it spoils you, in my opinion. So here's something that I thought was interesting and I want to talk about. We both are from Virginia.
Yeah.
What part are you from?
Just north of Charlottesville.
North of Charlottesville. Okay, so you grew up there.
Yep.
And then we just talked about what made you move to North Carolina was, the auto stuff. Yep. And then that happened. So your first experience was LaJoie. That was your first one.
Yeah.
And then, so that's really what kickstarted your career.
Yeah.
That's cool. So
once it's in your blood, it's hard to get it out of it.
So this is a $1 million question, and that is true. I will say that once it's like a drug. It's in there. It's you're in there. For our listeners, everybody calls you Stevo. How did you get the nickname, and when did you get it? Was it when you first got down here?
Yeah, I think Corey actually gave it to me.
Perfect.
I don't remember exactly when it was or how I got it, but it was LaJoie that gave me the nickname Stevo.
Yeah, it's in my opinion, I think it's hilarious because no one calls you Steven except me sometimes. But like I honestly just I love the fact that you have a nickname because I have a nickname, and I think it separates you because like everybody in the racing world calls you Stevo when they talk to me, and you got to learn how to spell it. Tell them how to spell it because I had that wrong in my phone.
Well, some people just put a Stevo, but it's got to be Steve O.
Yeah,
you know.
And as I like to call him, we got to add this in here. You are Jack Dawson's brother from the Titanic, Stephen Dawson. So I have him in my phone as a picture of Jack Dawson. So what I do like about you, and the reason I have you on this show too, and I always say trust the process. That's always been my motto. But I love your process, your grind, and your work ethic. So it's just gonna be a moment for you to just kind of reflect on this a little bit. Like, what gives you the fire to do that, not being the driver? Like, and I ask you that because I always wonder. I'm a driver, but you work way more hours than the drivers there. You give up all your time to make those cars go fast for that little bit of glory, right? Yeah. And I always say when I win, like, y'all should get the spotlight, not me. Yeah. And I truly feel that way. But how do you keep that thought process through the grind? Like, I mean, because essentially it's a lot of pressure on you. I see that. I see how much you work at the shop, but like your career growth and how I value you as your reputation and everything. Like, it's just you put in the hours and that grind, and like I just want to hear a little bit of what's your thought process on that, and what makes you get up every day and want to work 14 hours a day. And
I guess it all comes back from my father. He worked 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, and you know, whatever he did it right the first time. You know, and just made sure everything was attention to detail, and you know, there's no reason to do it twice. Just do it right the first time. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You know, you got to have time for yourself. But for me to watch the drivers win races, and not just myself, the drivers, but the rest of the guys that work with us, you know, I get more enjoyment out of seeing them celebrate than I do.
Yeah, I think it's pretty incredible because I don't know how to say this, and I'm kind of rambling here, but it's my show and I can do that. But I just like I would go up to the shop, you know, pretty much every afternoon this season and just watch, you know, try to stay out of y'all's way, but watch what you're doing. And I would go home and y'all were, you know, you'd still be there, and I always would go home and I would tell Nicole or something. I'm like, I just like appreciate what you're doing. I said, because here I am, I'm back home and y'all are still there grinding it out. Obviously my life is a little bit different being the driver. Yeah. Like the stuff I go and do, I have to go and do, but I know the real work that's going on, and I can only do but so much on my end. So like, I truly thank you for that. And I don't want it to go unnoticed, because as I've now moved up and got other opportunities, like I couldn't do it without you. And then also I know I'm nothing without what you did at the shop. So that to me is like just incredible. So you worked with Corey, and then another name that's popular in the sport. Well, I don't know if it's popular because they're booing him right now, but you worked with Austin Hill. Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah. That was after Corey.
Yeah. So
how did you and Corey end first?
It kind of transitioned. Corey started running the ARCA series. Yep. You know, I think it was 5 or 6 races we did one year, and then he still had his K&N cars. Austin Hill was coming into the sport looking to rent cars before he owned his own team, so he started renting the cars from LaJoys.
So he was renting LaJoys K&N cars?
Yep.
So you were already knew them?
Yep. So they kind of hired me on to work on Austin's K&N stuff at the same time working on Corey's ARCA cars. And then once that year was over, the Hills hired me full time to work on the K&N deal.
Okay, so were they still doing that out of LaJoie's shop?
There was 2 years out of LaJoie's shop, and then they got their own building, and then we ran probably 3 more years, I believe it was.
Yeah,
2 or 3 years. It's all a blur now.
With Austin.
With Austin, yeah.
Okay, so that's leading you up to 2015, 2016 range.
Yeah.
How'd you like working with Austin?
He's like another brother, man. They're
Yeah.
You know, you spend all the time, just like with you, you know, you spend all the time with you become family. And
for sure. I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah. That whole Hill family, they're amazing people. They took me in, you know, as another one of their own. So
to me, I think that's the best. Like I feel bad at times because I'm like, all my friends are racing people, right? And we're all stuck in that same world. But honestly, you meet the best people.
Yeah.
And I'm too emotional. Like I'm too attached to like my guys. Like, so it's hard. The last 2 years have been tough because I've left team to a new team, now to another team. So that was cool. So I guess I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What's the difference between Corey and Austin? What was the two like hardest or like for you to get used to? Were they different? Were they alike?
I guess the difference was Corey worked on his own cars, you know, right there with me. Austin did some here and there, but he was also in Georgia. Yeah. You know, running, I think he was still running his Legends cars some, and then he had a business with Kendall Sellers.
Yep.
Running Legends cars at Charlotte and Atlanta.
I forgot that he was tied in with them.
They were doing all that too at the same time, but and they're two different type of people. You know, Corey's we'll just say an athletic guy. You know, played baseball and did all that, and Austin was into racing and hunting and fishing. That was more my style.
So now we're getting into the juicy stuff.
Oh boy,
2025. Working together at PRG. I guess first I'm going to ask, when did you start at PRG?
23.
So you were there when they first. You were there from day one.
Yeah, I guess I was the second hire. Shane would have been the first hire, and then I was the second hire.
And what were you hired to do?
I was hired the first year to be kind of a shop foreman / car chief.
Yep.
You know, help put the shop together, find the guys to work with us, you know, on the ARCA side, build the whole team basically.
So you hired Garrett?
I did not hire Garrett. I did not. He straggled in on his own.
I know he wanted to watch this live, so we gotta. I can't believe you hired him.
Yeah,
Garrett's our engineer, just so everybody knows. Or what do you want to call him?
Glorified note taker.
Yeah, he gets paper cuts. He prints a lot of papers and gets paper cuts. All right, so I think that's pretty cool for leading up to what we did this year. Like you were there from day one. Super impressive what y'all built in a short time and can beat the Gibbs car.
Yeah.
You know, I know what they say about ARCA, about the field, right?
Right.
We're not going to sugarcoat it. Everybody says, oh, there's only 5 car or whatever. Yeah. Like, I ran Cars Tour. I know the competition side, but you can't run Cars Tour at a 1.5 miles.
Correct.
You can't run Cars Tour at a super speedway.
Yeah.
And if anybody thinks it's easy, they can sign on up and try to go beat the Gibbs car, right? Like, that's why I'm so proud of y'all because, I mean, that's a cup team.
Correct.
Like, y'all's resources are not what they have, in my opinion. Not
even close.
You know, sim time.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Wind tunnel.
You know. And I thought that's cool because I got to see a whole different side of that. Like I went to the wind tunnel with y'all this year. I know we don't get as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
Even compared to like Rev Racing, we didn't get the sim time they got.
Correct.
On that side. So being in the Josh Wise program was beneficial for me. But I just think it's cool what you did. So you were just kind of car chiefing, And when did you find out that you were going to be promoted to a crew chief?
It was.
And were you mad?
I'm not going to say I was mad, but it was Phoenix of 24 in the fall race. We showed up with Zillich to run the last race, the West race.
Yep, I remember that.
And Shayna joked about, you're going to crew chief this race. You're going to crew chief this race. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want a crew chief. I never really had any aspiration to be a crew chief. We get there, and he's like, you're going to the crew chief meeting. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, you're doing this whole weekend. And I did. I crew chiefed it from start to finish.
And you called the race?
Called the race, and we won that race, actually.
I was watching it because I had already signed, I think. I think I had already signed. Because I signed somewhere in October or something, November. But I remember watching, and it's like, man, like, pressure is on now. Like, that car is fast. So, and I think that says a lot about the culture and the chemistry you have with the 28 guys, or really the whole shop. I mean, I think, so the 28 guys, did you have any say in who was on the 28 car, or was that all when y'all built it been the same guys? Like,
it's been the same guys since we started. Yeah.
So from the beginning.
Yeah.
But it just seems like y'all just all click.
Yeah.
From Dylan and Mike doing their side at the shop. What would their job description be? Mechanic.
Yeah.
I mean, they put the motors in, maintenance it, all that, and then Aaron's doing interior and tires and all that, and then they get the car to the plate for you and Garrett.
Yeah.
And you do like the setup plate.
Set up and pull down with
and
Garrett.
Pulls down with you. So it's a process. And I assume your favorite, you like, do you miss the mechanic side or you like the setup side? Like,
I like doing it all. I've always worked for small teams, and
where you had to do everything.
We do it all.
Yeah.
So, and the guys that we've hired, they've all done the same thing.
Y'all all from the same
small team type deal that we can all jump in and do anything at any point.
Yeah, I like that.
But honestly, what I'd say I miss the most is the fabricating side of it.
You're actually a pretty good fabricator.
Building the cars. That's what I like the best.
I like when I've showed up at the shop and see you like building something, or I'll walk in and you're in the machine room, or like I think it makes you a better crew chief that you can do that, because I don't know most crew chiefs now, but I think some now are more of just tell the guys what to do, and I don't know if they really could go do it.
Yeah. There's a lot of them be wrong. I think there's a lot that can't do it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, just the way the sport's gone. So I think the crew chiefs that are successful are the ones that can still do it, because I think they're the ones that are still doing it to make sure it's right.
Right. I don't even have a desk at the shop. Office. I don't have a desk. I don't have an office. I don't need it, though, because I'd rather be out in the shop working with the guys every day.
I just think that's, like, to me, for everybody that's listening, that's why it's successful, and that's why it wins races. I think it's so cool that you have that blue collar mindset.
Yeah.
And this is not against other crew chiefs, because I think everybody's, whatever you do, like, they're working hard in some way. But I think that's why you and I get along so good, is because I came from that with my late model stuff, like at the shop every day, having to do it out of the backyard, small team. Yeah. Obviously, I say that a lot. In the last 5 years, I've been on bigger teams, but I had to work to get there. So I think that's pretty cool. It says a lot about the culture that y'all have in the shop, and I felt like y'all welcomed me in right away. So it's just pretty damn special, in my opinion. So on the season, I'm gonna ask you some questions. What was your favorite moment of the season? Not win, just favorite moment.
I don't know. We've had a lot of good ones. The year's still not over either. I think the banquet's going to be a good time.
Okay. All right. Favorite moment pre-banquet. We can edit that in later.
Yeah. Probably some of the team dinners and the events that happen after the dinners. That's those times are a
Something
lot of
we
fun.
can't talk about on camera.
Yeah, I don't know. And then obviously winning the races, man. It's watching you celebrate, watching all the guys celebrate together. It's always a lot of fun.
Trying to think favorite moment of the season for me. I'm kind of with you. It's not even the racing. It's got to be the plane rides, the post dinners, the dinners, then the post dinners, the hanging out away from the racetrack.
Correct. Just being able to spend time together outside of the racetrack, away from race weekends. We can still go
Top Golf and I remember the first time I hung out with you and Dilly, or you talking to the bull rider at the food truck festivals. Yeah, we does food truck festivals.
JB Mooney.
JB Mooney. Yeah, I mean, yeah. For y'all don't know, Stevo met JB Mooney at the 158 on Main.
Yeah, look-alike,
and the guy did not take kindly to that. He let Stevo know he was not JB.
And we made friends after that.
Yeah, we're good.
Friday kickback lunches.
Can't forget about that. I'm telling you, I gotta talk about it. You remember the first? It had to be like the first or second Kickback Friday.
It was the first one.
It was the first one.
If I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Yeah, where Stevo was a good boy in this one. He didn't do nothing wrong, but I had to play babysitter of most of the guys on the team, and I was the new guy.
Yeah.
But that's what a team player does.
That's right. Broke you in right the first time.
Stevo was being good. He went to an auction and was actually working, and the rest of us were clowning around.
It's okay. It was off season.
Yes, that's right. It was. Kickback this Friday probably.
That's right.
No racing this week, so. So I think we could be here all day. I was trying to think of a favorite moment that I could just like rattle off. I mean, I think probably one of my favorites has got to be Talladega. Do you remember when we were driving? It was Talladega, and I'm pretty sure you were in my rental car with Nicole and I, and that guy, we were coming down like in between the houses, and the guy just fell right in the road.
I don't remember it.
It was it was like he had to be like a drunk guy, but he was like walking and fell right in the street. And then Aaron and them were in the rental car in front of us, and they missed it. But I thought you might remember.
I don't remember.
The dude like stumbled and fell right in the street as we were coming by.
You didn't run him over, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't run him over. No. Okay. Well, there's so many moments. But now I ask you, what was your favorite win of the season and why?
That's hard too. I would say the Dover is because
got him right there.
I've been there with Corey, Austin, and now you, and we've won every time. I think I'm undefeated at Dover, to be honest with you. Other than the one we blew a motor the last year with Austin.
You won it with Zilich too, or were you on
and Zilich?
Okay, yeah. So I thought.
Yep.
So you got a lot of monsters.
Yeah,
that's your favorite win of the season?
I think so.
I was gonna think you were gonna say why, because of what we went through to win that race.
Well, we had we had a parts malfunction, but got it fixed at the break. And did we lead every lap there?
Yeah,
we did.
Led every lap.
Started on the pole. Led every lap.
Told me to give the lead up when we were having issues.
Yeah, slow down. You just kept going faster.
Slow down to go fast. Dover's a special one for me because of the trophy.
Yeah,
like I wanted to win that trophy really bad, but I've been asked that a lot, and I think it's hard to not pick Daytona also, just because of what it means.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing that makes me, and you might agree with me, the only thing that makes me think that like I wouldn't pick Daytona as my favorite win is because there's only so much I can do.
Right.
Like Derek did a good job spotting, and I feel like he did more than me.
Yeah.
But like at these tracks, I feel like I can actually make a difference, and you with the setup can make a difference.
Correct.
But Daytona's special. I think the dirt win was special.
That was good. Yeah.
With the way the throttle stuck and all that. Like I think that was cool.
To to go to Kansas and win
both. First, did you know we were the first to ever do that?
I didn't.
I didn't either. We're the only driver team to sweep Kansas in the same year. And I did not know that.
Me either.
They said it on the broadcast when I watched the replay of the race. I had no clue. I think along the way of our championship run, if you remember how the year started off really good, and then we had the alternator at Talladega.
Yeah.
And we lost the points lead, blew a tire at Charlotte, lost the points lead.
Yeah.
I think that tested us the most as far as we could have had a really big lead, but we had to get down and grind.
Right.
And honestly, I think, and I was going to ask you, like, as a championship run, would you have rather it been that way or just been so far out all year? Like, I think it showed what we were capable of having to work for it.
Yeah, it's nice to have the lead and not have to worry about it. But yeah, you kind of lose sight on where we need to be at. You know, if we have that lead, you start forgetting things, or you know, I don't know. I'd say I'd rather win every race and not have to worry about it. But
I love dominating, but I also like winning races I shouldn't. I feel like Salem. Yeah. I mean, hey, we won. I figured out how to drive it, right?
Yeah.
Car was probably a little better than me. I was trying to take care of it for sure. But, like, at the end of the day, does it matter how you win it? If you win it.
It doesn't list how you want them.
Yeah. I mean, and it won't, like, yeah, we got a little luck there, but it won't, like, when it was at the end, we were rolling.
Yeah.
I think what I like about the way our season played out too early on, being tried with the road courses where I had no experience, and you did a really good job trying to prep me and work out the bugs, and had a good day at Lime Rock until a driver error there, but still a solid day. And those are all stuff that's going to help me moving forward. But I think it showed how we could look at each other and hold everybody accountable to fight and get the points lead back, and then start inching away. Yeah. The Michigan win, holding off Corey Heim, like, I had enough trust in you, if this makes sense, like when I'd go to a track and just like unload wide open.
Yeah, well, you scared me at Kansas.
Yeah, okay, so let's all right, we're gonna back up. So, favorite moment of the season, I think we'll talk about that for a second. We went to Kansas. Wasn't my first time there, but my first time with y'all. You built a brand new car
for Kansas,
which that car's been pretty bad to the bone.
Yeah, and
I want to hear it from your side, because I'm doing way more talking. You're the guest. What was you told me take it easy, right? If we go.
Well, you asked me. You said, "Can I hold it wide open?" I said, "Yeah, probably the first couple laps," and then. You come over the radio after I think you ran 10 laps the first run in practice, and you was like, well, I was wide open the whole time. I said, yeah, I could tell. You never lifted until you hit pit road. And everybody down in the pits was, you know, their eyes were as big as mine was, you know. I didn't think you would do it, but you did.
I think, and that was our first mile and a half of the year, and I think that set me up. I did it pretty much every Michigan and Iowa you lift, but Kansas again. Where else did we go to? Charlotte. I remember you built that brand new car, and like in my head, I'm like, man, and this is me being honest. I'm like, you never know how that's gonna work. Mm-hmm. But I knew y'all had won there with the other car.
Yeah.
So it's like hard to like take something new and you don't know. But I'm like, well, it's gonna be better.
Right.
And when I went out there and held that thing wide open, I came in and I remember Ilmore guy or something's like, "Did you lift?" I'm like, "Was I supposed to?" Like I don't know what I'm doing. And we can laugh about that race because I didn't even know how to side draft. Remember my side draft down the back?
Oh,
it was like
you looked like a dart without feathers.
I looked like I was drunk. I was swerving all over the place. Got a lot better on that by the end of the year. Got better at ripping the top. Like when we went back there in the fall, like I was way more comfortable to just go up to the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that the whole championship run, I mean, like when we talk about moments, there's just so many.
They're countless.
I can't wait to see what we talk about at the banquet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to switch gears a little bit to your challenges. Like, I know this has got to be, I want you to think about this, but what would be the toughest moment in your career? That's a tough question, but I want you to think about that.
I don't know. As of right now, for me, the toughest thing is letting go of my role as a car chief. You know, watching the guys at the racetrack making changes. There's times like, you know, I've done it since 2006, and you learn the little tricks and trades along the way to make the changes as fast as you can, or you know, whatever. And you watch the guys struggle.
And you're on top of the truck.
I'm on top of the truck, and it's like, we got to go, but you got to let the guys do it. You know, they've got to figure it out.
I get that. It's like letting the bird out the nest. Like you're sitting up there watching them have to do it now. And I can only imagine, like, for me, it'd probably be me getting out of the car and somebody else driving my car around the track with my number or my name on it. Like, same analogy, like it's tough, right?
Yeah.
Or like instance, if I was to step out and then run my own team and something like that. So I don't know how you do it. Like, so, cause I was trying to tell people before we started this show, like, you would probably rather be a car chief than a crew chief, right? Or do you?
Yeah.
Like, if you had to pick today,
I think I'm better at car chiefing.
Chiefing.
You know, for me to advance my career, I'm going to have to crew chief.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I think this year showed that
you can do it.
I'm capable of doing it.
Who told you that all year? I told
you. Did.
Yeah.
There's been lots of people that have told me that I should do it, but
yeah, everybody believes in you.
Finally, somebody told me I had to.
So what did that fine line of letting go of car chiefing and being a crew chief teach you? I assume kind of what you're saying, like knowing you can do it, or like knowing if you want to move up, like you have to do that.
Yeah,
like that.
Correct.
Be kind of the bullet point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think and I'm just a redneck from Virginia, but I've told you all year you could do it. And I think sometimes you just have to believe in yourself.
Right.
And obviously I know it helps having everybody. You're only as good as everybody around you. So you have to have a good team, good driver, good crew chief. But all year long, I mean, even if we normally unloaded fast, but even if we didn't, like, we found speed.
Yeah.
Like, and you always did. Like, and you never just sat on it. Even when we were kicking tail, you were trying to get it better.
Yeah. You can always be better.
So that I don't see any. I think the sky is endless for you. Like, I think you can make it up farther and farther and do it. So
maybe one day.
Yeah. So what's next for Stevo? Like, for your career, do you want to stay ARCA, or do you want to move up or go in a new direction? Like, what's your goal? Like, what is your end goal? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to stick with ARCA probably for a little bit longer until I have the confidence in myself, you know, to want to move up.
Still ain't got it? I feel like you should by now. Like, I mean, do you want to move up?
Yeah, maybe. Probably no more than the truck series.
As a crew chief, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like having my weekends off too. You know, that's
truck and ARCA schedule is pretty cake.
Yeah.
So,
but given the right opportunities, you never know what could happen.
That's what they all say, and then they go and crew chief a truck, and then it's Xfinity, and next thing you know, you're in the championship 4 in a cup car.
Maybe.
I mean, I feel like I don't know what would be the big difference to move as an ARCA crew chief to a truck crew chief, besides. It's still a race car.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to the same types of tracks.
Same tracks, yeah.
More sim time, maybe?
Yeah. More people.
You know. Do you feel like at that level you start getting away from
Yeah.
more hands-on?
I think so. As
Does
a crew
that bother
chief,
you?
yeah, a little bit. Because,
Yeah.
like I said just a little bit ago, like losing my role as a car chief, being hands-on, as you move up, I think you be more on the technical side of it. But you have to lead your guys the way you want them to, right? So
Yeah. I think being a leader is probably one of the biggest things as a crew chief you have to become. And I know you don't think you are, but I see it, how you lead the guys and keep them in line. And I feel like I would want to, if I was going to be a crew guy, I'd want to work for you because you have that drive to win, but you also take care of the guys.
yeah. You got to have a good relationship with all of them.
That's right. Because it's just like you. I mean, you got to think of it, and from their perspective, like they're giving up their time for even smaller role, like not a smaller role. I shouldn't say it like that, but they don't get the spotlight at all.
Right.
Like the crew chief and the driver get the interviews or get the on the paper.
Right.
But like, there's 4 or 5 guys that are just as important on that car.
More important than
for sure.
than we are.
For sure.
They're the ones doing all the work.
I mean, I think of it, okay, like just you wreck. Thank God Aaron tightened my seat.
Right.
tightened her down, right? He could have been on a long day that day and forgot to tighten something, or Dilly and Mike could have forgot to tighten the
oil line
and we lose 30 points. Like,
right.
A lot of stuff rides on stuff out of our control.
Yeah.
So I think that's I don't know. I think that's pretty cool that they're all like, that's what makes the 28 guys special too.
Yeah.
But so you would say just trucks about all you'd want to move up to?
I think so.
Unless if you went to trucks and won and won a lot of races and got another opportunity, it'd probably be hard. But I just wanted to know where your headspace was as far as for the viewers and the listeners, nothing to do with me. Like, I'm not asking about me or nothing. I'm just saying, like, you see ARCA crew chiefs and you wonder, like, is that what they want to do? Do they want to move up? So to me, it's interesting just to hear that you do have some thoughts. Would you ever move up and go back to working on them, like, and not a crew chief, or you're in a crew chief role where you want to stay? Like, that's probably tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would say I would go back and car chief, a truck or maybe even Xfinity car. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's that 23, 24 race schedule that I really like, know, and again, with trucks, ARCA, they usually race Friday, maybe a Saturday here and there, but you got your weekends.
That's nice. I agree with that. I'm spoiled now. This has probably been the shortest season of my career because normally late model racing, I'm racing all the way through Thanksgiving. But this was, I would say, I ran more consecutive weekends. But yeah, so that's cool. I appreciate your outlook on that. So we're going to close this a little bit differently. So the new motto on the show is going to be trust the process. Obviously, I have always, I would say about 23 when I was late model racing for Lee, we came up with the trust the process thing. We were racing a low tire grip track and we dropped all the way to the back and then came back to win the race. But during the race, some of the crew guys, especially Chad, I love Chad, but they were like freaking out. It's never going to work. And we came up, I don't know if it was Lee said it or I was saying, we were all saying it, but it was called trust the process. And I feel like my career that was my first year with them to now has always just been trust the process through every opportunity, make the most of it. And I wanted to have guests on here that I feel like fit that mold.
Yeah.
And I feel like it defines you because you left Virginia, you moved down here. I mean, got into this world that you didn't ever think you were going to get into. And along the way, I'm sure you've had to trust the process.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to just trust what you were doing. I think and I'm going to ask you a question, and most people aren't going to be able to answer this probably, but do you have a trust the process moment in your career?
When I first moved down here, I moved with one of my good friends from Virginia. And about 3 months into school, he decided he was going to quit and move back home.
And that's that's tough.
Yeah. I had nobody, no friends, no nothing. I just had school and work. And I could have quit, moved back home, and worked on the farm the rest of my life. But I trusted the process to stay here and, finish school and stuck with what I had going.
I love that because it would have been easy for you to just, I'm going home too, or whatever. And you moved, and he left, so that left you alone.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, I don't know what's next for either one of us, besides hopefully you win a bunch more races and hopefully I stay in the sport as long as I can.
Yeah.
But I think I value our friendship as you know. I consider you a brother. I appreciate you for taking time out of your day and coming on here, because I know it wasn't what you wanted to do and being my first guest, but it means a lot to me that you did it. And I'm looking forward to the banquet and just appreciate what you did for me this year more than you know. I have memories that'll last me forever. And just because I ain't driving for you, it doesn't mean we won't hang out.
That's right.
But just thanks for coming on. I want to just let everybody know it's Stevo Dawson right there. And y'all be sure to check this out on any recording podcast platforms you have. It'll be on YouTube, probably Apple, Spotify, wherever we can put it, wherever Jarrett can get it on. And we will try to let you know who's going to be next, but we'll have another guest here in a couple of weeks. But just thanks, Stevo, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.